So here we go. We're about 64 days away from the election. Again, Joe Biden, it was a surprise. I actually was back in Pittsburgh over the weekend, Isaac, and people I know on the ground who are journalists and who work in politics were kind of caught off guard because suddenly they learned that this Biden visit was sort of planned over the weekend, and it happened today. How important is it going to be, though, for Joe Biden to be out there on the ground? I mean, to this point, he's stuck mostly to the East Coast, if not his place in Delaware. That's going to be key for him to get out and about. I think anybody who looks at this right now says, regardless of who you are, you have to be seen in public.
Amidst the pandemic, a lot of the campaign has been virtual up till now. And even as Biden returns to the campaign trail, I think you're going to see a lot of the traditional get out the vote mechanism, the canvassing from door to door that Democrats used to do. A lot of that's going to be virtual this election cycle. It's going to be a huge change in technology. And going back to something you said earlier about rural America and some of the policy issues, one of the big things we've always talked about in the past has been rural broadband, right? You hear that a lot in rural campaigns, and people talk about the increase in rural broadband as something about education and economic development. And I was conversing with a pastor friend tonight who pointed out to me that in a time of pandemic, when people need to be able to access worship services virtually, that it's about people's freedom to practice their faith, that it's about people's lifeline to community. And that's why it's so important we see a ticket that prioritizes things like rural broadband the way Biden and Harris have.
And before I let you go, as we talk about Kamala Harris, and one tactic that we're going to see Republicans, and they already have to some extent, is playing up the fact that she's a San Francisco liberal. How does that play in rural America?
She's also a devout Baptist and a person of a deep and abiding faith who believes in restoring personal dignity to people across the country and uplifting our nation and restoring it back to its values. And I think that's what more people in rural America want to see right now than the chaos presidency that we've had that led to the situation we're in.
All right. Isaac Wright, good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Final Five comes back right after this.